That looks like a really good game
I
that SK streamed.
I just got it. I've already gotten like 3 wins.
Oh my god! If you want to like stream it, I am down to like watch you stream it. What like
Wait.
stream with you playing it?
Oh wait, I actually kind of like deck building roguelikes. I'm not like super good at them, but I have Slay the Spire, I have Monster Train, I got Dicey Dungeons, right?
Yeah, it looks very interesting. Like I'm not deck building roguelikes always kind of like freak me out because I'm just like, oh, I don't know the deck archetypes. I don't know archetypes for this game, so I'm just like always freaking out. But like, it looks kind of like easier to manage.
Oh yeah. Dicey Dungeons also has the quality of, like, it definitely has like less going on in terms of its actual deck building, but it's really interesting in like the way Witch and Robot and like Inventor plays with like how your deck is structured and how you're rolling your dice, right? It has a lot of weird meta stuff going on in like how you interact with your like cards and dice and stuff.
Yeah, because like I really do like the what's the one deck building game that SK also streamed that was the roguelite? It was the something to Eden or
Oh yes, One Step for Eden. I also have that. Yep, that game's a good game.
yeah, I really want to play that, but like the deck building just looks very overwhelming to me, and like there's just so much on screen that I'm just like, I would, I would have a very rough time
The,
getting used to it. But
these
it
are
looks really good.
they're all the kind of games where you would get overwhelmed early on and then you'd freak out, right? But you learn it over time, and it's like, oh, now things make sense after you try them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Slay the Spire also just has infinity mods. It has like a quadrillion unique characters, and there's like at least 10 of them or 20 of them that are good, and then like there's at least 5 of them that are the quality of like the actual characters or better.
Yeah.
Oh, so I should mention,
Alrighty.
for anyone who's in chat right now, we're just waiting on a couple more people to just join in before we get started. And because we're going to be reaching the point of no return for Ciconia, and then things are slowly going to start to actually happen because we've been mainly getting world
It
building
all
so far.
comes tumbling down, tumbling down,
Tumbling
tumbling down.
Calm Sister Todd's a really good song. I actually listen to it quite often.
I love it too. It's
Yeah.
a really good song.
Alright, so I think we should at least go to where we were.
Wait, I can read the title screen for this one.
Okay.
To fulfill our master's orders, we shall not hesitate to use the methods of demons, nor to stain our hands with demonic acts. Oath of the Order of Prometheus.
Alright, so hey Seacat Whisper, nice to see you here. And bring up the Ciconia chapter summary. Oh, you're getting ready to see when stuff's gonna happen, huh? Things are still looking relatively okay. The moon's fine.
It's the Doomsday clock, isn't it?
I mean, it's pretty ominous. By the way, is our audio balance good? So I'll handle this, yeah. Former Prime Minister Zaidan of ACR Libya was reported to have died of illness last week, but according to a recent leak, he actually died due to a gunshot wound. This has led to a massive uproar in the country. Our former Prime Minister, a leader of peace and democracy, was killed by the ACR royal family. Africa must not fall back into a dark age. We request humanitarian military support from ABN military to protect the people of Africa. ACR Royal Family Press Secretary Rafini said this measure was taken because making an announcement before the investigation concluded might have led to a panic and in effect confirming the leak. This crime was committed by secret agents of the ABN Guidance Department, which has always challenged the harmony of the African continent. A male and female member of the ABN involved with this assassination have already been arrested. We have asked that the International Criminal Police Department issue an official notice regarding 4 other participants. Hey, 80% relatable. So yeah, someone who's really
Hello, Owu.
hello.
I still can't stop thinking about Dungeon and Dice.
We
It was a
were
really fun game.
we were talking earlier about the deck building roguelikes because I'm a fan of them with, say this raw, One Step for Eden, Launcher Train, etc. And Jupiter's super interested now. So that's another thing we could stream maybe sometime. Oh, wait, Jupiter, I think I might be able to get you to control over my stuff through Parsec. So even if you don't necessarily have the game, we could still stream it with you trying it
Nice.
out. We'll give that a shot later.
Sure.
Okay. I also want to do some other streams. I'll float another idea because I had one a little while ago. But anyway, back to Ciconia, the actual stream we're doing right now. Someone got assassinated. Someone important in Africa got assassinated, and people are blaming the royal family. Some people are blaming the royal family. And the royal family are blaming the ABN as assassins, and things are going really badly right now. The ABN Department of Friendship, their equivalent to a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has expressed their deep regret at these comments, and just now, ABN Pakistan's mining machines all started operating at once. The suspension of the Kashmir Spirit Field dispute, because, Kashmir can never get a break, which both the ABN and the COU have supposedly agreed to, is now over. Ever since the disputed Kashmir region was found to contain a large-scale spirit field, the ABN and COU have each publicly encouraged others to show self-restraint, while simultaneously claiming that they themselves ought to possess the Kashmir region. This issue has been suspended for quite some time, but it seems that the moment has finally come for them to clash openly. The foreign ministers of COU China and COU India have both released statements. They're harshly criticizing the ABN, saying their breach of the agreements by resuming mining operations will not be tolerated, and that they must bear responsibility for whatever happens next.
Wow, it's almost like having a consistent military power actually doesn't work in maintaining world peace or something.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't. The Palpatine thing says, I love geopolitics.
Yes.
Oh, this is you, right?
Yes. World news has suddenly gotten so exciting. Is the information overload making you old people lose your mind?
It would count as information if this was news, but it isn't news to us.
After all, when they announce the news, they're just reading our manuscript aloud for us.
Precisely. All is in the name of guiding humanity down the right path.
However, the Kashmir region isn't the only spirit field problem the COU has. There's also the Glass Sea of Japan. The vast glass sea that separates COU Japan and AOU Japan has been maintained by both countries as a symbol of peace and a World War relic, and they have attempted to use it as an opportunity to build harmony, at least until recently. Well, I suppose it's natural for rare spiritium to become a source of disputes. Who could have predicted that a spirit field of rare spiritium would be found in the earth below the glass sea? AOU Japan did a soil analysis first, discovering that a vast spirit field existed there, but they concealed that information and effectively prevented a soil analysis by COU Japan. AOU Japan says their announcement was merely delayed and they hadn't intended to conceal anything, but the COU strongly suspect that they were trying to keep the spirit fields all for themselves. COU Japan claims that the glass sea was divided in half, so the western half belongs to them. But AOU Japan claims that the Class C is a neutral zone managed by both countries. COU Japan has suggested that they may station border guards in the area, so it seems unlikely that the Glass Sea of Japan will escape becoming another disputed territory. Your Excellency, we received a report from our COU Japanese comrades that stationing of border guards will take place in 48 hours. Everything is proceeding smoothly. Even though they lost all their species in the big war, they've managed to scrape together this much. In just over a century, I must admit I'm impressed.
I'm not over those jeans!
I can't.
Those jeans! With that opulent top!
The top is so absurd. But
it's giving me very big, like, shirtless Sephiroth vibes.
I'm just saying,
I'm
just saying most character designs could be improved by just taking the top off.
I mean, yeah.
You want to take this Men in Black?
Sure. We also have reports that their pawns hidden in countries around the world have all started taking action at once. Are you sure we should make our move?
Nah, it'll be fine. If half or so of the world gets destroyed, that's probably just what humanity needs about now. Civilization is a unicycle that humanity is constantly riding. If they stop, they fall, so they have to keep on moving. The only problem is that civilization has an end. When you reach that end, they will definitely come. It'll be a festival, a harvest festa. Everything will be reaped without even a single husk left behind. It'll be all pulled up by the roots. Compared to that, World War IV will be far more humane. If you just rewind the world's civilization a little, the end of civilization will be that much further away. And weapons of mass destruction have already been eradicated. See? Nothing to worry about at all. So, that seems super sus.
Yeah. How many secret societies do we have right now? Like 3?
We have the Order of Prometheus. We have whatever's going on with Three Kings.
Wait, what's the Order of Prometheus again? Are those the?
We don't know.
They've
just appeared in like text. That was the name, the Oath of the Order of Prometheus of the you know.
God. So many. All I know is
so we have the scientists
the
underground. We got the Three Kings. We have whatever Tojiro and Seshad are doing, right? Then we have the normal like backroom conspiracy and stuff of the governments. And then we got Meow and the Gauntlet Knights because they're going behind everyone's back to communicate with each other, right?
Yeah. Oh god. I know the Knights said they sent moles, but what's to stop the other secret societies from sending other moles?
What?
Like, there's just so many moles.
There could be more moles than we thought.
Yep. Yeah.
Can you trust anyone? Can you trust Jaden? Do you know where Jaden's been?
I don't know. I feel like I can totally see Jaden being part of the Order of Prometheus.
Whoever they are.
Whoever they are. Like, why? What? He's like, Jaden, I trusted you. Why did you join? He's like, you don't get it. They give me free health care. He's like, oh, okay, I understand. He's like, oh, okay, I understand.
Okay, we have new information about the Atlantis Spirit Field issue in the Atlantic. The AOU American government has made a statement that the ACR, which currently has a unilateral military presence in that area, must withdraw the warship Atlantis of the ACR Combined Navy from the Spirit Field within 2 weeks. If they do not, the AOU American Navy will dispatch their Atlantic fleet to that location. They demand that ACR withdraw a single ship. It's classified as a warship, but the Atlantis is a Super Fortress class segmented warship, an ocean fortress made of 7 massive linked warships. It's also the symbol of their occupation of the Atlantis Spirit Field, so it's hard to imagine the ACR going along with this. Another news item just in. The ACR royal family, referencing 12 murders including that of the former Prime Minister Zayden, has demanded the return of Supreme Chancellor Bellumi of the Liberal Democratic Party African Liberation Front, who is currently receiving political asylum in COU Madagascar. It is unlikely that the COU will respond to this demand, and many think this will further complicate the Mozambique Channel issues, which concern a heating up of travel restrictions through the area near the Lemurian spirit fields. And now for our next item. Just now, despite repeated requests from the ABN Oracle Department to desist, the 7-state alliance in Western ABN Ukraine has started to hold a national referendum on whether to seek admission into AOU Russia. Hello, hello, Evie. Tensions are indeed rising. The Russian military is concentrating on the border and has hinted they might enter as a part of a humanitarian operation to protect citizens of Russian descent if the worst were to happen. Of course, the ABN Peace Department has objected to this vehemently. It's suspected that behind the scenes, complicated religious issues that have been forcibly silenced are at play here. This powder keg may have been lit last month when several VIPs of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church were arrested. Meanwhile, on the internet, theories that all these international tensions are being fueled by a Leto international conspiracy have been gaining steam. It's a conspiracy by the countries of Leto tried to get each of the other four factions to take each other out. The four factions must maintain their self-restraint and calmly deal with these issues, says a blogger. Now is the time for peace and coexistence. The anti-pacifist
Hey,
Leto...
Reina.
Yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the stream says you're streaming Devil May Cry, so I don't know if you need to change that or if that's to avoid the copyright thing.
No, that's just from when I streamed Devil May Cry, actually.
Well, I guess you gotta change it.
Yeah, I'm changing it. Just give me 1 second. By the way, Devil May Cry, playing Virgil, really fun.
Yeah, her Virgil's fun. I love V so much. He's a good. It reminds me of my good old emo years. Such cringe years.
I don't know. Isn't that, I don't think that's cringe. Like cringe, Jupiter.
Let's just say it was emo and I'm not like other girls phase.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cringe, though.
And also being super closeted because you don't know what asexuality was. So you're like, sex is for losers.
Sex do be for losers, though. Well, this is hell, so we might as well be in DMC. But in DMC, I can just nothing personal, everyone. You can't nothing personal, like, borders. If only.
You see, all of this could have easily been avoided if borders just didn't exist.
Anyway, so now's the time for peace and coexistence. The anti-pacifist Leto must be annihilated. We're deep into the double think right now.
Hooray!
Leto must stop monopolizing rare spiridium fields and share them with the whole world. That's not
Heck yeah,
necessarily
fuck
wrong.
capitalism.
Well, Leto, the world's greatest...
Fuck monopolies.
Yeah, that's not necessarily wrong there. It is periodically set up as the villain of international conspiracies. In particular, old major countries who look down on the nations affiliated with Leto in the before World War III era are rumored to be unsatisfied with Leto's international leadership in the after World War III society, even to the point of jealousy. It seems that military tensions springing up across the world will affect all factions, even later. So, who was voicing Tojiru again? You were, right?
Yeah.
I'll take this. This has been quite a day. It's just one bit of unsettling news after another.
As if you didn't know about all these things beforehand, Your Excellency.
In the highest class private room of a resort hotel, an old pudgy military official and Tojiru were sharing a meal. There were MPs in the four corners of the room, all staring at Tojiru. Humans are despicable creatures after all. The feeling of superiority we get simply from knowing things a bit sooner than the general public makes a good drink that much more delicious. Gah! Gah!
If we keep this up and dash straight into World 4, that ought to sober him up.
No one wants that. This moderate sort of tension sometimes builds during peacetime, but whenever it does, they beautifully make up and give the world news a good story with a nice moral. Everyone wants a scenario like that to play out, and that's what will happen this time too.
After all, unless you give humans some tension every now and then, they start to forget how precious peace is. Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Words are very hard.
If only, just like, if we could communicate good, that would... Humans, fixed.
Yes. Solidarity. Words. Alright, I said my lines.
No, you have there's a second line you didn't say.
Oh! They always forget how grateful they are to people who've protected that peace.
Exactly. After all, this sort of international tension will make for an excellent chance to show off the true purpose of militaries and related institutions, whose job has become nothing more than earning medals in the battle-centric festivals under the noble guise of being servants of peace. Humans are foolish creatures who respect proactive occupations, but show absolutely no respect for reactive ones. Though militaries were hailed as guardians supporting the walls of peace, their budgets had started to decline everywhere in recent years. After all, national borders had been maintained thanks to healthy military balance, and they were now wonderfully stable. So, now that people are cutting down on military spending, we need to start some wars to get some more military spending.
So this is all... So, oh god, is this just really the philosopher's whole plan then from Metal Gear Solid then, which is we need constant war in order to fund the military-industrial complex because capitalism.
The war economy. You need it for reasons...
Think of the warlords. Think of the war production.
Think of your war profiteers, your local war profiteers. They need your help.
Exactly.
With just your...
Give me the credit. Give me the numbers on your parents' credit card.
By simply putting your life or the lives of countless innocents on the line, you too can help your local war profiteers. Metal Gear Solid with more capitals is pretty good. Pretty good, Moscow.
Yep.
Not only that, but once the newest type of weapon, the Gauntlet, was made ready for practical use, a few thousand suitable youths would be able to replace millions of soldiers. In the end, militaries around the world would probably be dismantled. This development was hardly amusing for old men with their vested interests in the military's upper echelons, as well as high-ranking men in active service who wanted their spots. If only we had an upswing of military tensions, giving me a chance to shine. A lot of military men were thinking that way. Ultra-idle non-cogs of war.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like that how there's never been an exterminator who wants all bugs to go extinct. However, there were quite a few old men who didn't care about the future, who were much more interested in how much easy money they could make now. By the time all militaries were dissolved, they would be long retired. Why should they care what happened after that? To them, these global military tensions, which were building after such a long time, would be their last festival, and a chance to rake in the dough. The military official rose to his feet and gazed through the window at a well-lit pool under the night sky. Tojiro, I hear a fairly well-known broker in this arena. One of my friends in the Department of Defense says he's made a killing thanks to you.
Oh? I wonder who that friend might be. When doing business with me, being loose-lipped is against the rules.
No. His lips were indeed tightly sealed, and I can guarantee that he'll never speak of you again as long as he lives. Have no fear, Tojiro.
I see. So that's why he never responds when I ask him to go out for a drink.
Tojiro, I'm not a small fry like him. I have power. I have no shortage of strong cards to play, and with those cards I can help you earn even more.
Would you mind showing me those cards?
I've never shown my cards to anyone who hasn't brought me a sack of money, but you're different, Tojiro. Very well, as an apology for inviting you here so abruptly, I'll show you. The military official signaled to an MP with his chin. You got mail, Poyo! It's an attached file, Poyo! An email had been sent to Tojiro Cellcom, He quickly checked the attached files. It was in a record of the top-secret meeting at the IPMA, the International Peace Mediation Association. It showed that they had decided to take a wait-and-see approach, practically speaking, regarding the feuds that had popped up simultaneously all over the world. The digital signature was good. This was real. It wasn't exactly surprising, considering this man's position and connections. It shouldn't have been impossible for him to get his hands on this.
This card's not bad, Your Excellency.
These files were surely precious things, capable of predicting the future state of the world. The cards I have are really nothing special. I hear you have some very nice cards yourself, and you have all sorts from all over the globe.
Compared to your cards, mine are a little more than a parking pass.
Gah! Gah!
Oh, he's getting close to him.
Tojiro, I want to be your new friend. Or are you thinking that it wouldn't be useful to your business? The plump military official held out his big greasy hand for a handshake. Tojiro chuckled and grasped the man's hand. You wouldn't notice unless you looked closely, but this was a slightly unique handshake, with a peculiar arrangement of fingers. Wait, secret society handshake?
Yep, pretty much.
I'm glad that you formed an amicable relationship with you. Now that you have joined forces with me, I promise to make sure you rake in the dough. And I promise... Oh, you...
And I promise to earn you even more.
The sheer amount of sleaze coming off these two.
Or rather, if I didn't, I get the feeling I'd be footing the bill for my stay here.
Hey, Tojiro, as your new friend, and since we exchanged business cards, could I ask you to reveal just one tiny card of yours? The military...
He wants to be friends with benefits, I knew it!
The military official suddenly smirked impishly. It was a sort of unpleasant familiarity often used by people who don't really want to be called friends.
In that case, to celebrate my new friendship with Your Excellency, here's your card. Do you have stock in any environmental 8MS related companies?
Of course. Stock in 8MS companies is like a goose that always lays safe golden eggs.
You may want to sell that off bit by bit.
Why?
Well, now, that would be a different card, Your Excellency.
You aren't testing me, are you?
Not at all. If you really do trust me, then you'd better do as I say. If environmental 8MSs were to run into some kind of trouble, the whole world would go back to its nanomachine allergy of a centuries past. When that happens, it will already be too late.
I understand, Tojiro. I'll take this friend's warning to heart. First Lieutenant Valentina.
I'm right here.
Tojiro is my friend. Tell the Public Safety Office that they may remove their mark on him. You may leave.
As you wish, Your Excellency.
Valentina saluted and left the room, and as she walked through the halls, her Kazuna told her that a friend had sent her a message. You received a message from friend Mari Carmen. Poyo! Did you see the news? It looks like all the kind of crazy things are happening all over the world. I even got a notification saying that I might get caught up in some kind of conspiracy, so I need to be extra careful of anything suspicious. Seriously, what'll I do if war really breaks out? I only became a Gauntlet Knight because I wanted to fly. I don't want war. Seriously. Opening text editor, Poyo.
Don't be silly. Of course there won't be a war. No one wants a war. They're all just amusing themselves with this situation that smells like war. It's just like how you enjoy being scared of ghosts every year during Halloween.
Message sent to Marty Carmen, Poyo.
You became a soldier because you wanted to fly.
Monsters all over the world are wriggling in the darkness trying to start a greed-filled carnival. Only those who predicted the wave and managed to move first will survive and get rich. You became a soldier because you wanted to fly? Fool.
That cheap resolve is going to cost you.
I'm assuming him and military man fucked, right?
I have no idea, but I'm going with that. That's the new headcanon, yes. They sent everyone out of the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
They fucked.
I was like, oh, friends with benefits. And it's like, oh, I mean, it was also interesting that they were gonna, like, attempted to maybe assassinate him after he left if he didn't impress him. That was interesting. That was an interesting small detail.
Mm-hmm. A friend has arrived, Poyo. And now...
Jaden! Thanks for waiting!
Now we have Meow in a dress.
I love Meow's outfit. It's adorable.
It's a bit much. I like it. Now time for happy fun times now that the hold is imploding.
Sorry, I'm late.
I don't mind. That not at all. Of course that was a lie. Was it really today? Was it really the right time? Was this really the right place? He had checked the mail thread with his mental tablet way too many times, so much so that he'd been asked, "Do you want to set this as your default wallpaper, Poyo?"
Damn. She didn't cancel at the last minute.
How can you be so rude, Abdo? Also, you owe me one credit.
A late woman is the one for you. A late man must commit seppuku. Seppuku. Arriving first and waiting is what makes a man a man.
Oh no, okay. In the virtual room
This
inside...
pretentious, toxic masculinity asshole.
Inside Jaden's head, all his male friends from the public bath were giving him support. After all, because super genius Jaden's parallel processing ability had been recognized at a young age, he'd grown up in a special institution. Forget the baptism of American boys known as the prom. He hadn't any exciting contact with the opposite sex at all. He did have a natural cheery personality. He knew from sitcoms how attractive guys were supposed to act. But this is the first time putting that into practice. Oh no.
Jaden, is Jaden Ace? Are we going for Ace boy here who doesn't like feel like, wait, people sexually attracted? What I got? This is romance?
I
What?
don't.
And it's just...
I don't know. I guess we'll see. And his pride and embarrassment at the thought of having to ask his friends for help. Eventually, the former won out, and he had gathered his friends in a virtual room so they could offer him his support to his day. So we're getting wacky hijinks while the friends try to help Jaden do his date good.
That's kind of sweet, though, and kind of like, I can totally see that, especially if it's parallel processing now.
Yeah.
You can do multiple things at once. Hey, boy, shouldn't you start by complimenting the girl who got all dressed up for this day?
Oh, all right. Your clothes look really cute today.
Thank you. Thanks. But I overdid it a bit, and it looks like my shoes don't really fit me.
They're adorably curly shoes. You might have Mia's body, but you look so cute when you're... Yeah? -5 points. When dealing with CPV, it's safer to avoid comparing them to the other personality. Come on, you dumb fuck. Crap!
I picked them because they were cute, but there's no point if it's hard to walk in them. And on the big day of our date, too.
We have at least 4 wingmen right now. Wait, let me see. 3? No, 5. 5.
Two of them seem to be giving good advice. The other two are just kind of like, want to watch this trash fire, like want to see this date fail, and one's just giving bad advice.
Yep. Whoa. I'm
So
stuck
like
already.
a typical friend group, basically.
Yeah. How am I supposed to respond to that? I'd say don't worry about it being hard to walk. Just hold my hands and we'll take it slow. I'd show respect for the fact that she chose shoes she wasn't used to. Thanks for picking the cutest shoes for my sake. Well, I'd go with let's stop by the drugstore and buy some foot protection tape so your precious feet don't get hurt.
Good boy. Stalinslaw's good boy.
If we're going that route, for the sake of lovely feet, my princess, I would
I thought we
gladly
were doing
give you...
Momotake. Don't I do Momotake?
I'm sorry, you do. That line was too much. Okay, go for it.
If we're going that route, say, for the sake of your lovely feet, my princess, I would gladly become your clogs myself.
Is that horny?
He wants someone to step on him.
Is that horny? That's pretty horny. He is a dweeb.
How about you, son, with that's what happens when you wear shoes you aren't supposed to, stupid, and then dare with a speak it up if you get tired, okay?
Oh no.
Oh, go, okay, Andrew was going so good, and then he just had a
No,
say that.
I think Andrew's fucking this up on purpose because think about what he just said.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll carry you, he also says.
I'll carry you, woo! Yeah.
Wow, everyone just gets super disappointed by what he just said.
Oh no! It looks like Jaden got confused and froze. Maybe he really just wanted to go out and have fun, and now he's creeped out because I suddenly called it a day.
Get a hold of yourself. A date is a battlefield. If you let your guard down, some other girl will snatch him from you. Jaden's pretty cool after all. Even I was thinking about taking a shot at him. I'm not sure about the cool part, but I've learned from this that he's surprisingly cute.
Still, I don't understand. Why did you go out of your way to get Meow shoes that were hard to walk in? You just don't get it. Wow, wow, wow. If you could totter around in the awkward shoes, the boy might lend you his shoulder. Wow. It shows off your mentality of pure and innocent love, since you chose those shoes for him, even though it would be difficult to walk in them. It's a splendid romantic strategy.
So, the girls might be even more dysfunctional at this.
Yep.
Jaden's hesitation is proof that he's just as nervous as she is. Just enjoy this feeling of awkwardness and innocence.
Just enjoy it. That doesn't help at all.
Like Jaden, Mia had also invited the girls to the public bath in Germine, asking them to give her support. But you know what they say about having too many cooks in the kitchen. In the end, the support didn't help either of them, and only ended up confusing them. Oh, it's hard to walk. I'll walk the same pace, so just let me know. Also, thanks for choosing such cute shoes for my sake. And let's stop by a drugstore. I want to be your clog, stupid. Ah, wait, I take that back. That didn't happen.
Huh? Now, when the man slips up, you must giggle and soften the mood. Now's your chance to pretend to trip and lean on his shoulder. Wow.
Look at these backseat gamers. Nia also took all the advice she was given. Pretend to trip while giggling and clinging to his shoulder as well as poking his nose and saying, "We'd better get to the hospital and give you some help, silly." An incredible combo move. Is that a power move? What does that mean? What should I do?
Jaden's getting creeped out again. What should I do? I never should have gone on a date.
It seemed it would take quite some time before either of them realized that getting live advice during a date was a bad idea. Jaden, who had been the one who asked her out. Meow was the kind of personality that hid in Meow's shadow most of the time, so there weren't many chances to talk to her directly. One night, when Meow was sleeping, he had messaged Meow while they were engrossed in the conversation. He had strengthened his resolve, deciding that if he didn't ask her out now, it might be a long time before he got another chance. He stepped up to a man's challenge and miraculously had set up today's date. The location he had chosen was Neo-Akihabara, in the center of Tokyo. Akihabara, which was once hailed as a sacred land of otaku culture, it was still a sacred land for subcultures in this era, but that definition was now broader. In addition to anime, manga, games, it was packed with all sorts of ridiculous things, including artists, performers, underground idols, a precision circuit board shop, a carnivorous plant shop, world spice marketplace, the official chess boxing shop, an underwater combat gym, the World Furry Convention, monster parties, the Hairy Man Co-Sleeping Cafe, slug racing, Tokyo...
Wait. The World Furry Convention? Oh dear.
Yeah, the World Furry Convention's just here. It's held in Japan now.
Damn.
Yeah. Slug racing, Tokyo Wanyan Cup, stop by now and get 200 sacred gems, and so on.
God, SK said, and a CRT repair shop. Damn, people are still using cathode rays.
Those Smash players, they need them. In this future, they're still playing Melee. You know that. Like, when life on Earth becomes untenable, if humanity manages to survive in some far flung out distant space, someone's gonna be playing Melty Blood on some sort of, virtual laptop.
Someone's gonna find, a way to port Smash and emulate it in the Matrix when we upload our minds into the simulation.
No, they aren't, because Smash players won't accept that. They need the CRT.
Yep.
No modifications. Oh, yeah, chess boxing is an actual sport where you box, and then you play chess, and then you box. Winning at chess or knocking the other person out is winning, and you're testing yourself on your ability to play after getting punched in the face repeatedly.
Holy mo, that's a lot of energy to burn.
That's some extreme himbo energy, though.
Yep. Oh god, I'm headcanon it. Jaden does chess boxing. They're a gamer in all the kinds of ways. They're a well-rounded gamer. They play tabletop games. They play board games.
They're into that slug racing. Also, one thing we have ignored here is the Hairy Man Co-Sleeping Cafe.
Oh, that just sounds like a bunch of dads sleeping in a cafe.
It's a cat cafe, but with sleepy dads. That explains itself, Sasibi. And it was a bustling city, always filled with enthusiasm of youths who wanted to make their dreams a reality. By the way, the reason...
Hey, at least in the future, Japan's youth problem solved.
The Japan's youth problem is solved because everyone's born out of a factory now, Jupiter.
Oh god, that's right, eugenics kids, that's right.
They're all eugenics kids.
I forgot. They just brush that over and you're like, oh shit, this is a eugenic society.
Factory goes brrrr. Splorch.
This is the real Brave New World.
By the way, the original Akihabara had been swallowed up by fancy fashion skyscrapers, and it was a now high-class city lined with expensive brand stores on par with Ginza. These days, saying someone was Akiba style basically meant they looked like a celebrity. Oh, your boyfriend's Akiba style? Wow. No, not that. He's Neo Akiba style. That's become a classic gag in this era. At first, Jaden had thought about using a more standard route, going to a stylish place you'd expect girls to like. However, according to the advice of his friends, dates turn out better if you go somewhere both of you can enjoy, rather than catering to what one person wants.
Yeah, that's good advice.
The point of a date is that you both... Oh, sorry, you...
The point of a date is that you both enjoy it, right? If you're just trying to entertain her, that makes you a tour guide, not her lover. But even so, how could you choose Neo Akibara? Should it be more grown up? A more grown up city?
Grown-up cities are built to entertain grown-ups. Those two are kids. Kids should be kids and play where they don't have to strain themselves.
In my experience, women who want a grown-up date usually just want to show off by walking around with a hot guy.
Hey now, this is no time to badmouth the princess, okay?
That Jaden choosing such a childish city as this. It's so much more satisfying to go to a grown-up town, where you can show everyone what a grown-up date you're having. After classifying their types and their availability area of action, the city was up.
Neo-Akibar is famous even in the COU. They say there are all sorts of strange things there. I'd like to go if I had a chance. If you heard that, I'll bet a certain someone say, such a place is not suitable for one such as you, princess. Momotaki is all strict on me. I suppose father told him to keep an eye out.
But I heard that Neo-Akihabara, an immoral city filled with posters and billboards that expose women's skin. Wow. That's just too obscene.
That's the old Akibara. Neo-Akibara goes far beyond that as a melting pot of all sorts of inexplicable cultures. Come on, don't be shy, take a look. In Jaden and Meow's brains, their friends were definitely looking down on this from above like sightseers.
Jaden, do you come to cities like this a lot?
Well, every once in a while. I've gotten involved with subculture a few times. It's not like an otaku or anything.
I know someone as cool as you can possibly be an otaku.
Yeah. Otaku are so, like, antisocial, right?
You're right. It's just crazy to lock yourself up and play video games all the time.
Not feeling called out right now. Not at all. Absolutely not. Why were they suddenly pretending to be normies? Both of them had forgotten they had first met each other at a game center. Also, normies is still slang in 20 whatever.
Oh my god.
In fact, Jaden loved video games, manga, and anime, and yet he was one of the lucky few who looked like a normie on the outside. By the way, Meow loved video games, manga, and anime too. Most of the time, she couldn't leave inside of Meow's head, so entertaining herself by fishing around the internet had become a hobby of hers. It's surprising. I see normies as translation choice pretty often because there's like a comparable cultural thing in Japan where it kind of fits. You even see in like Dead Demon Destruction. Meow is always online. After seeing this, their friends concluded that they're doing something typical innocent couples, going into bluff mode, trying too hard to look impressive. They poked fun at them a lot under the guise of giving advice, saying, be honest, don't lie to her and yourself. How could you possibly like someone who can't say that they like what they like? Gradually, the pair of them both realized they were thinking the exact same thing and trying too hard in exactly the same way. Sheesh. What's up with me today? This isn't how Super Genius Jaden's supposed to be. Sorry, Mia. I've been just lying my ass off trying to look cool. I love games and stuff. I love manga too. On my days off, I'm a freaking otaku who stays shut up in his room from morning till night. I acted like I knew nothing about the city, but that's not true at all. If anything, this is my home. That main game center we just passed, I go there all the time. I got a freaking platinum membership card. I know it said that's creepy, I wonder what kind of person goes to places like that, but this year is obviously platinum, isn't it? Thank you for your time.
If you say that, well, this is the first time I've come to the city, but I've bought things from a lot of these stores over the net. And as for me, I spend all my time shut up in my brain, and I love manga and games. But I didn't want to creep you out.
What the heck? So we've both just been trying to act cool? That's...
We're so uncool.
you play games too, man? Which manga have you read?
Oh, stuff like One Piece, Slam Dunk, Dragon Bell.
Whoa, so you love the classics, huh? I love all of those, and when I start reading them all my days off, it suddenly gets dark outside before I realize it. At one point, the old international culture had brought manga and similar industries to the brink of destruction with illegal sharing and the like. However, thanks to various new A3W technology, they would be attractive once again and were on the rise once more. Partly because manga making techniques had temporarily gone extinct, classes from the after World War II golden age of manga were coming to the limelight yet again.
I love you, Shama. Yu-Sama Hakusho and Haunted X Hunted 2.
JoJo's Bizarre Barbecue is pretty great. One time her friend tried to do barbecue at JoJo but screwed up and dropped the beat.
I want to do a JoJo Grill too. I want to do the one on the cover of Volume 32.
Wait, we really are creepy, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. But I think that's us at our most honest, and the city suits it perfectly.
The two of them finally became their real selves, relaxing and laughing together honestly. Jin had said something unfortunate earlier, but he really was amazed at how possible it was to think that's the same body as Meow's. True outfit and makeup really did make a difference, but can a person really look this different just by how they act? He couldn't help but be amazed by the fact that when dealing with humans, what they are on the inside matters far more than how they appear. At the same time, he felt even more affection for Meow. Even though they were going out for the first time, she'd been watching for him so long, during conflicts in the middle of Meow's lecture mode the whole time. And as his fondness increased, a certain question entered his head that wouldn't go away. However, he couldn't ask Meow directly, it would be hard to find the answer. And if he asked his friend, they might really get mad at him this time. No, but isn't this exactly the time you're supposed to rely on your adolescent friends? Are you all still there? Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I thought it would be rude to intrude any further. We were just planning to go our separate way.
If this question is inappropriate, please forget what happened today and leave quietly. I don't even mind if you unfriend me.
Hey, what's up? It's not like you to be this serious.
I don't know anything about CPP, so I keep misunderstanding things and hurting people. I'm really sorry that I'm so ignorant. I get all that, but there's still one thing I have to ask. There's no need to be so timid. Ask us whatever you want.
We'll happily answer any question you have. So is this about what to do in bed? No.
No, it's not like I expect that to come up on the first date. It's just the thing I want to ask is sort of related to that. I want to make this clear. No, the simple fact that I care about something like this might already be rude to some people here. But even I'm basically a healthy, average, absolutely normal guy, right? Isn't it obvious that I want to know? No, Meow, or rather, Meow. Which is he? Which sex?
Can't you just check in the shower room or after training? Oh dear.
The AOU, out of consideration various genders, was one of those anti-sexual discrimination nations. As well, resident cards in countries allied with AOU indicated the citizen number and names, but not their sexes. Information about one's sex was shared only when it became necessary at medical institutes. And even then, it was shared only between the person and the hospital, and the information will be instantly removed after a certain time had passed. For example, in addition to men and women's public rooms, there were also restrooms either could use. Just like women's restrooms, they had only stalls. However, you were allowed to use them regardless of your sex, or even gender minorities could use them without having to worry about whether they were a girl or a boy. In short, even sex was a protected item of private information in AOU Japan. Gauntlet Knights who were military officers were given suitable lodgings for the positions, and for that reason, even their showers were in their fully equipped private rooms. So he had never seen whether his partner's body was male or female. Of course, any sort of touching that would allow you to determine someone's sex was illegal throughout AOU, regardless of the person's age or gender. If Mia's build had been more dramatic, one way or the other, it would have been easy to tell. But yet that really did have the great sort of build that could be either man or woman. Yeah, this is starting to get a bit awkward for me to continue saying, and you know I'm still a guy, right? If I find someone I like, I want to form a steady relationship with them. And well, I'd like to go as far as I can go. That's not weird, is it? Isn't that healthy? But dang, if at the very end, if we get carried away in that final instant, if we're sexually incompatible from biological, what do I do? I think those three from Yellow Dot Chevy could field that question best. Should I call them? No. I want to ask the people.
Calling them would be calling the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
At first, everyone felt like bursting out laughing and poking fun of him. But they did understand it felt. You get the lucky half of those 50... Oh, sorry.
If you get the lucky half of those 50-50 odds, I'd say there's no more debate, so go for it. Yeah. Yep. You didn't fall in love with her because you were after her body, right? So it doesn't really matter what her biological sex is, doesn't it?
That's right. It's Meow's heart and kindness I fall in love with. Even if her body isn't a girl, I'll accept her.
You are a true man. Shut up, Momotake.
At least Momotake's idea of manhood is accepting other people's gender and not caring about their bodies.
Yes. But you just said it in like the
worst
restrained
possible way. Yep.
Yeah.
Whew. This. Yep.
Ooh.
However, for your own mental health, you should probably resolve this issue quickly. If your height and libido is unable to properly sunlight, you can expect to receive considerable mental damage. So, if you're able to adapt for sex somehow, what will you do if Meow's body's male, Jaden? I'll do all I can be best friends with her. What if the hell am I doing? I just said I'm not after her body, but I'll be let down if the body's male? Am I just a pervert? That's not... I'm super uncool. Several of the most recent studies indicate that about 10% of the population is homosexual. Same-sex couples aren't particularly rare either.
Oh, apparently women these days use same-sex couples purely since your partner isn't just after your body. Oh dear.
Well, love takes all kinds of forms. Either way, there are as many types of love as there are lovers.
If this is true love, you ought to follow to the end. You need not let the words of outsiders trouble. In the end, that's what it comes down to. Do you like her or not? And if you do, how are you going to show each other that? In the end, that's for you to decide.
The home pair's sexual troubles were very instant, the kind of thing that can change completely depending on one's country, culture, and religion. However, Jane and Meow were fortunately part of the same cultural sphere and had similar values when it came to romance. On top of that, the AU was accepting of all sorts of genders, and same-sex marriages were legal as well.
In other words, you should decide freely, by your own will, as a pair who loves each other. That's the world you live in. So, you should enjoy your love to the fullest within those rules.
It wasn't as though they were irresponsibly supporting a romantic couple with unknown genders. They said this understanding that the AU would not acknowledge same-sex couples. The AU claimed to have abolished discrimination against sexual minorities, but not all factions did this. If Jaden and Meow had been in different factions' cultural spheres, the others would have probably offered different advice. The homophobia is still, and all the other horrible transphobia and misogyny, they're all still here in this world of 20 whenever.
Yeah.
If me and Jaden, if I weren't from the OU, could this have gotten messy? In the ABN, homosexual is accepted, well, at least on the surface. However, the Unified Religious Council keeps putting off making a decision about whether or not homosexuality is acceptable. Because of that, fundamentalists who like to call themselves devout still take an unsympathetic attitude. In the ACR, same-sex marriage is officially supported. Still, was it last year? They got out one of the princes was gay and everyone freaked out. Pretty sure he had to give up his place on the royal succession and was forced to become a monk.
Yeah, I remember that. Gender minorities across the ACR started holding protests, right?
It's not as though people across the world are free to do whatever they want, like in the EU. We still don't know for sure if he has the same sex to me, but the world does have all kinds of issues, doesn't it?
Do you remember that girl, Ruki? From my squadron, Suparna?
Rukshana? I remember her. She's the cute girl who came waving with you during the Battle Center Festival, right?
In the culture of her country, it's considered immoral to have members of the opposite sex in the place.
Wait, what? Then how do men and women work together?
Similar to how men and women have different bathrooms and changing room, people in her culture think it's better to have workplaces that are also divided between boys. What a modest culture.
Because of that, when it came out that the squad she had been assigned to had a man in it, it caused a bit of dust in her home country. Political concerns in the CUU upper echelons had been partly responsible for the formation of that kit. So they couldn't just have Andre leave their ace squad just for Rukshana's sake. Instead, the heads of the CUU government had stepped in personally to mediate. In the end, the whole matter was settled by having the king of Rukshana's country publicly announce that she had been given special permission. I don't want you to get the wrong idea, but I'm not trying to say one group's right or wrong here. I'm just pointing out that all regions have their own cultures which have been developed over long histories. They all have to respect one another. Fortunately, in the culture field you and me live in, there shouldn't be any problems regardless of what her sex actually is. That's all I'm saying.
Still, there's one thing I want you to make sure remember. In the AU, whether it's same-sex marriage or whatever, that issue only concerns the two people involved. However, in another region, that could be completely different. In some situations, no matter how much you two decide you love each other, it wouldn't work out. Make sure you don't forget that, okay? In that sense, you are quite fortunate, Jaden.
There are all sorts of cultures and ways of thinking as well. The AU often called itself an advanced state when it came to human rights. However, that might be quite an arrogant way of thinking about it. For example, same-sex marriage are allowed in EU, but marriage between close relatives is not. However, if there existed a country that didn't allow same-sex marriage, but did allow for marriages between close relatives, the EU would definitely be a backwards nation in their eyes. It isn't as though culture and law of each and every place suddenly fall out of the sky one day, engraved on stone tablets. These things have proved throughout the long histories of the peoples of these lands. It would be arrogant for an outsider to call some of these advanced and some backwards. So when some aspect of culture doesn't fit in with its era, it's up to the people living in the cultural sphere to decide whether they should change it or not. Since even a single culture can have so many divergent views, if this pair of lovers had actually been from a different culture, this issue would have surely become even more complicated. It's even possible that it wouldn't work out, even if both lovers decide to go through with it. We'll talk it over alone and make our decision. We won't worry about what other people say. Those are the rules of this land, and I've decided to keep it on my relationship with me. That's good. As for becoming the difference between American and Japanese culture, you'd be able to find countless differences in that from people who succeeded. At it. Oh, it's weird it's slowing down so much. The rest is up to me to figure out, and the answer is obvious. Conclusion: no matter what sex her body is, I, Jaden, like Meow. However, if I know her sex beforehand, I'll be able to control myself in various ways, and I'm sure I'll be able to avoid hurting her. No, maybe it'll hurt her just to know that's what I'm thinking is. Wait, I'm making a mistake here. This isn't something I have to figure out alone. It's something Meow and I have to figure out. If both of us really do want to be together, I'm sure we'll naturally find the proper distance to keep while still being ourselves. Isn't it obvious now that, considering how much we managed to relax around each other since we first arrived at Neo Akihabara?
I guess you really do want to know, right?
What do you mean?
About my biological sex?
Jaden had panicked, thinking that she'd seen right through him. Then again, Mia had probably been having a mental conference with her female friends, just like Jaden.
Yeah?
Oh, another bot. Mosca, can you ban them? Okay. I love you, Meow.
Thank you.
Still, I didn't fall in love with you because you're a girl. It's because you're Meow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you, Mosca. Literally no problem, just whenever. How does it feel to have that power? Uh-huh, right.
The power. Just hope you don't come mad with power.
What if he bans me? Can he do that?
No, I believe because it's your stream.
No, but I
Banned
thought,
from your
like, if you
stream.
could ban me from chatting, that'd be amazing. So, I'm not gonna force you to tell me.
I see.
Well, this ended up healthily?
I see. Yeah.
Anyway, how can you be so sure I'm a guy? See how long my hair is? Maybe when I'm in my room, I tie them up in twin tails and wear miniskirt made outfits, right?
I think I'd like to see that.
Wait. So don't worry about it. We don't even live in a time where Ciconia carries our babies to us. Worrying about biological sex is a concept of the past.
You're saying that out of concern for me, aren't you? Thanks, Jaden. Still, I really do think it is unfair.
What is?
I mean, I'm being unfair, not you.
What? Seriously? Why?
I started liking you knowing you're a wonderful man, but you started liking me without even knowing my sex.
Is biological sex really so important when two people like each other?
Well, I do believe Jaden has the right to seek sexual relationships with the opposite gender in his dating. Wow. What relations? My Koro started croaking. I couldn't hear that part.
Young enough to have words censored, but not young enough to not be sent off to war. Oh my. Want me to show you how to take off your filters?
I agree with Ruthabile. If Jaden isn't going to be able to find what he's looking for, he has the right to spend all that effort on a different girl.
Maybe it's the same kind of unfairness as a married person pretend to be single when on someone looking for marriage. For Jaden, no, for men, is it really so important that the one they love be of the opposite sex?
Is she ace? I'm giving ace vibes for this girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm feeling those vibes. Princess, finding the facts to be strange or unsightly is a sign of ignorance about the opposite sex.
Have you heard of the book that What Men Think About Apart from Sex?
What?
What men think about apart from Kero? Men must really love Kero Boyo. Wow!
What men think apart from sex? That sounds interesting. Let's look it up. Now, searching Poyo. Search results, there's a novel by that name by Sheridan Simoe. Colloquially, it's also a phrase used to refer to a blank notebook, ironically implying that men don't think about anything other than sex. Wasn't there also a book, What Women Think About Apart from Money?
Most good book says all men do is lie and sit for the
All
frog.
men do is lie and sit for the frog.
Yeah. If you're worried about that, and you really like him, wouldn't it be better to come clean and tell him?
That's certainly one option.
To be honest, even we don't know your body's real sex.
Don't force her to go out.
Similar though.
Come out.
Yeah.
God.
I don't think they're gonna
Similar.
force her to come out. Like, it's built like
I hope.
the entire thing so far has built it to Jaden going like, No, that would be wrong, right? I am not going to ask her to do that, even if it because it'll make her uncomfortable.
Oh, is this like on Meow's end? They're going over while she was thinking. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I'll continue my lines.
To be honest, even we don't know your body's real sex. Similarly, though we act like women, there's no way for anyone to know what our body sexes are. Our bodies are far apart, and we can only meet in Kazuna virtual room, so our sexes don't really matter. However, in your world, where your bodies can actually approach each other, I'm sure it matters a lot.
I think that as long as the love is mutual, it can be shared between people regardless of sex. And even with inanimate objects, if you take it to an extreme. That's quite a unique way of thinking, Lingji. I don't dislike it.
Ace. Calling it headcanon.
I'm aware that this view is only shared by a tiny minority, both in the CU and the world at large. I suppose gender really is important.
If telling him the truth would make him give up on you, then that love wouldn't have lasted long anyway. If that's the case, you'd better off making things clear sooner rather than...
Does that mean your sex really is one that would make him give up on you? Wow, Aisha continues to be a dick at every opportunity.
No, it's not like that. Thanks everyone for worrying so much about my sake. It's not as though I'm keeping quiet because my sex would make Jaden give up on me. That's my problem, our problem.
You had personalities two different genders in a single body, so a gender reveal would only have consequences for her. Bearing that in mind, this certainly wasn't an easy problem.
Whether you design to reveal it or not, that choice will also be a part of your romantic experience. They both have love. There's no barrier that won't be able to cross. Wow.
In the end, what Mama just said is the answer. No matter how much we barge in and try to offer advice, it isn't as important as the answer Meow decides for herself. Yeah, I think you should enjoy your love, including the part where you were in this question.
I'll definitely tell you about my body someday.
Don't worry about it, okay? There's no need to force yourself.
No, I want to tell you. I just need a bit more time to prepare myself mentally.
I see.
So,
Huh? Search results. In Japan, Christmas is considered a major event for couples, Poyo. By the way, American roast turkeys for Christmas, but in Japan they eat fried chicken for some reason, Poyo.
I mean, if we can still feel this way about each other on Christmas, I'll tell you then. Is that too long to wait?
Not at all. I'll respect your feelings, but still, thanks.
Why?
You probably decided to do that from last week. Thanks for caring about me so much. I'll make sure I care for you just as much, Mia. So I'll make you a promise right now.
Okay.
I'll love you regardless of what sex you are. You're the best girlfriend and best guy.
Thanks, Jaden.
Christmas wasn't that far off. Once autumn and then winter came, it would be here. They passed in front of Home Appliance Modding Store. In the window, a TV toaster hybrid was... Wait, there's a TV toaster hybrid? Was showing them the news.
That's kind of cool.
Wait, why though?
What if it's a TV toaster, but like the TV is in the toast?
Wait,
That, like, pops up the toaster.
Why would the TV be in the toast? Why
The world's most expensive TV that's edible.
Edible TVs.
That's how the anime like squirrels running to class are able to watch the news while they're late because they have it on toast. You know?
But the toast is in their mouth. They're running. Their hands are full. Are they just? Oh, they crash into the cute boy because they're looking at the toast in their mouth.
Yep.
Okay, we're starting to piece it together. The true mysteries.
Yep.
With nanomachines, anything are possible. You're right, Evie. And yeah, they do eat KFC during Christmas. It's just a thing. Probably marketing.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had KFC once for Christmas because my parents didn't want to cook.
That's happened to me. I'm not knocking it.
Sometimes parents also just get Chinese food. We're just like, yeah, I don't want.
No, like during holidays, that's a common thing that happens with parents where it's like, why don't we just save ourselves the headache of making a huge, big meal, right? We can just cook, then do something. We can just order something and do something.
I think usually when my parents do make Christmas dinner, we just get a ham instead of a turkey. Well,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm standing in front of the IPMA headquarters in Ledo, Brazil. Just now, the spokesperson commented on all the conflicts breaking out simultaneously across the globe, saying that because of interventions made in any particular conflict might benefit or harm one faction or another, they would have to wait for the situation to de-escalate before taking action. He made it clear that they don't intend to interfere with any of these conflicts at this time. In response to this, the AOU Joint Press Secretary said, "Have you upgraded to the new version of Kiro Poyo? For a small fee, you'll be able to remove ads like this one, Poyo. You haven't done that yet, so it'll be 2 minutes and 58 seconds until the ad ends, Poyo. Now let's sing the Audi Frog's coming of age journey."
Oh no.
We've reached the point of no return. So we'll be cutting the stream here, then restarting it in just another minute. And the episodes after this will be put on an unlisted part on YouTube, and we'll figure out how to get it to the people who do want to watch somehow. Yeah. Does that sound good, Jupiter? That makes sense in my head?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Alright. So, yeah, they don't want you spoiling this part, but this also came out like multiple years. Like, it's been way over a year. And the second part should have been out, but it's canceled and rewritten, so we were like, there are people who have done full playthroughs, they just have not made the videos publicly available for after. So yeah, cutting the stream, it'll be starting again right after.